Good morning, everybody. This is author Dan Andersen and Trace, officially the Wish You Dead posse. We left off our last little episode. Trace is going to bring up Friday the 13th. Ironically, that is tomorrow. It's all over to you, Trace.
Thanks, author Dan Andersen. That's right. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th, and so we wanted to talk about superstitions because just curious to know what type of superstitions that you believe in. They run rampant throughout the world. So there's some pretty common ones that we know, and some other ones that are, probably going to make you raise an eyebrow or two as to why these are actual superstitions.
That one?
So first I want to ask you, Dan, what are your superstitions? Like, do you get freaked out by a cat crossing your path, or are you a guy that stays away from going under ladders? What are your superstitions that freak you out?
Now, do you want my point of view or the main character Odin's point of view? Because I can get in character or I can tell you me.
Well, let's start with you, and then we could maybe do both. How about we start with Dan, the man,
Okay.
and then we can find out what Odin in your book would do, or what his superstition would be.
Well, first of all, I'm not one of those guys that likes to cook cats. So the cat thing is, I've had a couple of cats. A black cat runs underneath a ladder or something. It doesn't bother me. I'll tell you, a little thing that does kind of set me off is the fall. I don't know what it is, but the fall on a Friday the 13th is a little bit troubling to drive somewhere. I kind of make sure I don't wear boxers that day when I travel.
You don't wear boxers when you travel.
Well,
do you go
no.
commando, or is it just a...
This is Canada. You go commando and you got a bunch of things sticking together. That's not going to happen. You know, the coldest day in Edmonton was in 2009. It was minus 42 degrees Fahrenheit without the wind chill at the airport.
Very cold.
By the way, crew, she's been doing this since she's 15. So now, looking forward, that's 3 years ago.
That's right, because I'm only 18, so
That's
I appreciate that. Yeah.
And that's exactly what your children would say.
Actually, I'm 17, but it's okay. You can call me 18 if you want to.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay.
All right, so you kind of combined all of the superstitions with a black cat crossing underneath a ladder.
Well,
I don't know
give me some other ones and I'll give you my opinion. How about that?
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, so we touched on that. Those are pretty standard ones. Do you know where the ladder comes from? Like why that started out as a superstition? Do you know the story behind that?
No.
Okay, so back in the day, the ladder looked like the gallows where people would get hanged, and so it became a superstition that if you walked under the ladder, then there's a chance that you would get hanged.
Wow.
So that's where the ladder thing came in. I think it's just smart not to walk under a ladder, because if there's people on it, they could drop things on your head. The ladder could collapse. My luck, all of it would happen at the same time, and a cat could cross your path.
Can I tell you what Odin would think?
Okay, tell us what
Odin would probably
Odin from your books would think.
Yes. Odin would put the ladder at the altar when you're going to get married.
Really? Why is that?
Well, he's not one of those entrusting in marriage kind of guys.
So he would think that getting married compares to going to the gallows.
And marrying a cat.
And marrying.
I know, doesn't have to be black. Is a black cat racist?
Yeah. No.
You can own any color you want.
No, because superstition, it's always been a black cat.
Are you sure?
I don't know, you'd have to ask the cat.
I don't speak cat.
Well, I'm going on the side of it's not. Although I don't believe in that superstition. I am allergic to cats, though.
Allergic to cats?
So just any cat crossing my path is not necessarily a good thing, because that could lead to allergic reactions. But any color of cat could do that to me, not just a black cat.
Well, that's what we know here in North America, is a black cat and a ladder. What is another one? Broken glass, isn't it?
Yeah, if you break a mirror, it's considered 7 years bad luck.
Must have broke a lot of mirrors.
Have you? Have you ever broken?
Oh yeah, I've broken a few mirrors. I contribute that to my ex-wife now. Must have did that.
Must have? Just because of the bad luck, or because you actually like to throw mirrors around?
Let's go with throw mares around then.
Okay, so those are some superstitions that there's a good chance you're aware of. But did you know that it is said that it is bad luck to leave chopsticks pointing straight up out of your bowl?
The wood ones or the plastic ones?
It doesn't matter. Any chopsticks. Apparently, it makes the symbol of 4, which is bad luck.
Well, I'm using a fork from now on.
And it also looks like incense when it's sticking out of the bowl. There you go. That's your answer. Just use a fork, and that will give you better luck. You don't have to worry about the chopstick thing and what direction
You said
it's pointing
incense?
in. Like burning incense,
Okay,
like they did it at
okay.
funerals and that. Right. So
I thought you said something different. That's why I'm not going to make that comment right now.
don't make that comment.
Okay, don't make that. Okay, I won't make that comment.
Don't make that comment.
I'm not making a comment on incense. Save that for another channel.
He really wants to.
Oh, I sure do.
He really wants to. Okay, we'll save that for another time.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh dear. Okay. In the meantime, now with the Wish You Dead theme, I pulled up a couple of superstitions that I didn't know. See if you know these ones. So apparently, you're not supposed to cheers with water.
Why?
Well, I think it's just a bad idea because you should be having a drink, right? Like, why not have a...
You're not
If you
supposed to
could
cheers
be
with
having
water?
a glass of wine, why would you be drinking water? I would be all for the wine. So what they say in Germany, this is an old German superstition, if you cheers with water, you are wishing death upon the people in the room.
Where's that? Where's that again?
In Germany.
In Germany.
German superstition. You're wishing death
I got to put my novel in German.
on the people in the room.
Really?
Or you could just be having a nice, refreshing glass of water.
I wondered if that happened in 1945.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe everybody was cheersing with water in 1945. In Germany.
I'm sensing another book coming out from you.
Yeah. No, Red 45, just giving you a little bit of a premises as this story unfolds. Red 45 is the second evolution book, and it has to do with a lot with what happened in Germany in 1945. So that's why it's called Red 45, Wish You Dead. So there's a lot there. And that's already at the publisher.
Yeah.
So I can't go back and fix it and say, add that.
Can't add the water thing in now.
Oh,
but
no.
when you're reading the book, you can think of that now. Because now the author is thinking that way.
Well, I can add it to the next book.
There you go. That's what I said.
It follows.
Sounds like another book coming up.
It follows all the way through.
It could be cheers with water.
Cheers.
Cheers. Or just cheers.
Just cheers.
Unless that's copyrighted.
Probably is.
Trademark, probably.
Yeah, but Wish You Dead cheers.
Wish You Dead cheers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another book possibly coming to your shelves. But you have to get through the other 30 or so books first.
No, I'm going to kind of finish the 4 legacy books.
For Wish You Dead.
For Wish You Dead. And then that means Wish You Dead Red 45, Wish You Dead, Wheels of Change, and then the one that's a comedy at the tail end is going to be Forget Me Not. Wish You Dead, Forget Me Not. And in the middle there, there is one kind of a surprise book. Yeah, big time surprise. Big time surprise.
Now, it didn't ruin the surprise by telling me there's a surprise, did it?
Well,
Did
if
it
you have to
ruin
go bathroom, you have to go bathroom. But in the meantime, that's still a surprise. That's the way it's going to be.
Okay. Surprise. Well, and you know what? On Friday the 13th, people don't like surprises because people get a little freaked out about even the 13 number. There's hotels that don't have a 13th floor listed. They just make it 14, 15. They go 12, 14, 15, and up. They won't even write it as a 13th floor because people won't stay there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. I just said really because I thought it sounded good. I knew that.
You said really to make it sound
but
like this was
some people
like,
might not know
wow.
that. Yeah, well, wow. Okay.
What a revelation.
Revelation. This is a perilous journey we're going on.
All right, well, we're going to get off the death theme for a minute.
Okay.
Did you know that in France, it's not necessarily a bad thing to step in dog poop?
It's not a bad thing, or it is?
Not a bad thing. Only if it's with your left foot.
Does that come between your toes? Yeah. Is that even better luck?
Well, do they walk barefoot?
I don't know. They got to be a place in France. They got squish.
Or sandals?
Squish.
They are haute couture, so maybe the high heels.
Could be.
Open-toed shoes, not. But apparently it's not necessarily a bad thing to step in dog poop. In France, that's a superstition that if it's your left foot.
So it's Chihuahua, Great Dane, it doesn't matter?
It's only bad if you step in dog poop with your right foot. Yeah, Chihuahua, Great Dane. To me, it's all bad.
Okay.
To me, it's all bad. Superstition or no, that's just gross.
Yeah, it is. And you can't get the smell off. It doesn't matter. You put it on your shoe, if it comes up between your toes, it doesn't matter. It takes forever to get this. Okay, another topic.
Well, I do just wonder if France maybe has a dog poop problem. Maybe if...
Oh, I'm assuming they have a dog poop problem.
Maybe they should be scooping a little more.
If they're talking about it, they got a problem.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would help that superstition if you just scoop a little bit more, France.
Oh, for sure.
That's our public service announcement for the day.
For France.
For France. Just
Can't
do a
do it
little
in
more
Italy.
Scooping.
France is okay.
That's better luck to not step in the poop. That's my superstition. Okay, so along the poop theme, apparently it is not all bad if a bird poops on you. That's Russian superstition. It's apparently not necessarily bad if a bird poops on you.
You realize, of course, this segment about Friday the 13th is turning into poop.
Turning into poop.
We got a poop theme going on.
It is a poop theme. But that started with France. We can point fingers at France on that one.
So France.
And this one's Russia.
So France started off all the poop.
France started the poop.
Okay, well, just got to be clear. She's telling me a Frenchman started the crap. I'm in. Okay.
And then Russia, superstition, thinks it's not necessarily a bad thing to have a bird poop on you.
That's interesting too.
I'm just going to go, my superstitions are just keep the poop away. That's got to be better.
No crap.
No.
Cut the crap.
Cut the crap.
Cut the
On
crap,
Friday the 13th.
Canada. Cut the
Friday the
crap,
13th.
United States. Which is going to be difficult if you follow their politics.
So that's my superstitions for Friday the 13th. Some you knew, some maybe new. I don't know if you're a superstition buff. But there's some strange ones out there.
There is?
Oh, yeah. Well, you get all these professional athletes that won't change their shorts. You were talking about Commando in Canada.
Yeah. There's
they won't change
professional
their shorts. Athletes won't change their shorts or
like,
socks or
don't change their shorts?
No, that they'll wear the same ones through all the final playoff games.
Oof. So that means a professional football player is playing in France. He smells like crap no matter what. Is that?
Very possibly.
Okay.
Very possibly. We're picking on France a lot, though.
Don't date a Frenchman that plays football in France.
Especially if they step in dog poop.
Before a game. Because then you got what they call linger. It's a problem.
Although that might ward off the other team. That might actually be an advantage. So maybe something to the superstition, that's where it could be good.
Yes, that's...
Frighten the opponents away with your smell.
I'm feeling it to the bone right now.
All right, well, I want to talk to you about just some interesting topics.
Okay.
And this will come from Dan, the author.
Okay.
Tell me, because you said there really is nothing that's off topic for you?
Nothing.
Okay. What are some hobbies that you have?
Oh, I love cars and music. Music is a big thing. Like, I get up, I turn music on. I go to bed, I turn music off. Whether it's be Rob Thomas or The Calling or Hoobastank, it doesn't matter. I listen to music. And different moods of music create different moods for me writing. So I know when I want to get into a certain mindset or place, I'll crank it. And I have, small mice and children that leave the room. They just say, can't have that. I crank my music. I'm pretty bad that way. If you've got a hearing aid, take the batteries out when you come to my place. It's just not going to be.
Is any music inspiration for your books?
Yes. I can owe some thanks to Rob Thomas. Is kind of a rocks it out for me. I would say Rob Thomas probably the most. But it changes.
And what influenced you?
Well, I think because he's got emotion in it, and some of the lyrics lead me to where I want to go. it's like a spare tire on the side of the road. You drop it off, and it drives me to put a gap in my work that makes you think about something different. That's just the way I create. That's just the way things flow.
Now I like Rob Thomas, and he was in a band before he went solo.
He's back and forth. Matchbox
Back and forth.
20 and Rob Thomas, they write music. They're off again, on again. They'll never be apart, I don't think. It's not one of those things that break up the band. Matchbox 20 will exist, and Rob Thomas will exist.
So music, other hobbies?
Fast cars.
Yeah, tell us about the one we're driving in right now.
This is a show. This is called an SHO, and it's Ford made it, and they're discontinue it in 2019. It is a perfect blend of heated and ventilated seats and four-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, sorry about that. 365 horsepower, calm, quiet, as you can tell. It's an ideal business car with a little pizzazz. This one started off its life at 365 horse, and it's now 400. So it's kind of like a sleeper.
Mm-hmm. And you write about your cars in your books.
I sure do.
Is this one in one of your books?
This one sure is. Now, they're fiction novels, but I write about a car just like this, hypothetically. And Porsches and Fords and Ducatis and a little bit of everything. There's a Corvette and a high-speed chase, a Damaso Pantera. There's lots of cars. Hellcats there. So if you're a music buff, you're a car buff, you're into romance, you're into this book. You're into all the books. The books themselves, the premise is empowering women. It's kind of like she's kind of like a really sexy Jason Bourne, James Bond.
He's talking about Trace Scott.
Yes. No, I'm talking about Elon.
Oh, okay.
Trace is the reporter that gets everybody in trouble. Trace is hot too. I'm not saying that you're ugly, but I'm just saying as characters in my novels. One of the comments was made by my editor a long time ago, is I had to shift the focus on writing between a man's point of view and a woman's point of view. So as the books go on, and in 10 years now I'll be the perfect writer. Right now I'm still the storyteller. Is the books kind of make the men hotter than they are in real life. So it's fiction. It's what you want it to be. And hopefully when it gets signed up for a movie, you'll find out your own way.
I'm getting the sense that most of the people in the book are hot.
No, there's
one level or another.
There's some fugly people in there. There's some downright, clap for disposal type people. It's all good. Everything is in there. It's everything that I wanted to make it be as it would be real, instead of being just a phony kind of writing. And they kept on asking me, my publisher, I should say, to clean it up and tighten it up and this and that. I said, no, not going to happen. This is the way it is. This is the way I view Odin. This is the way I view Elon. This is the way I view Trace. Trace, of course, is the most prim and proper of the three main characters.
Not to be mistaken with Tracy.
Not to be mistaken with Tracy.
It's just a coincidence.
Absolutely.
That he has a character named Trace.
The difference between fate and faith is you can only control one of them. That's it.
Wow, very well said.
So we're going to do another episode here shortly. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have 2-part segment to this little bit of a Trace Dan show, or Wish You Dead Posse. She's gonna ask me random word questions and responses. And also, if you want to be part of this Wish You Dead story, because everybody has a story. Everyone, every girl, guy has a story about this person that really grained and gritted on you or crapped on you. I don't care what it is. You can comment on this site, or you can send it to wishyouddead2020@gmail.com. We may bring it up in another episode.
These are our stories. We'd like to hear yours.
Yeah, we want to hear your story, your feedback. And everybody's got that. wish you dead thought. Everybody has one of those unpure thoughts at one point in time. We want to hear or learn about it. And who knows, I can chuck it in one of the novels pretty easy if it's got a little bit of realism to it. I like to get that out.
And for our Friday the 13th theme, if you have some superstitions that you believe in or some crazy ones you've heard of, we'd love to hear those too.
And the reason why we're recording these episodes, these first few in the car, is because we tried one jogging and it didn't work.
I got out of breath in the first couple steps. It was not going to go well. Too cold outside too. This is Canada.
This is where?
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
Are you?
That's why they're red. So too cold for jogging, and that didn't work.
Absolutely.
That didn't work. So driving in the car is much cooler too, because then we can wear our shades as well.
So Trace has got one question for today, and then she's going to lead me to the next episode.
He's pointing at my notes where it says marriage. Is that the one you were pointing at?
Wait, do you want to
or
bring?
Is that next one? I'm like, that's a pretty big topic.
That's a big topic, but we'll save that.
Starting that right now.
Okay, so ask a question off of your notebook there.
What do you recycle?
Do I recycle?
We want to know. Everyone's so...
Okay, environmentally conscious, I understand.
That's right.
Well...
So concerned about the environment.
Okay. My ex-wife is remarried. Does that count?
As recycle.
Does that count?
I don't know. Does she affect the environment? She affects your environment.
Yeah. So, I think I recycle. She's going to get a kick out of this when she hears this, that's for sure. So, I'll let you sign this off and then point us in a direction for a next one, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, obviously, marriage is going to be a topic in another one. We had another one in there, too. I can't remember now what that was. There was a couple of good ones. Right off the top of this video, we talked about one, so we'll have to watch the video to see what it was. We'll talk about all that, but in the meantime, definitely send us your comments. You can email us or put your comments below if you see a spot below this video to write them in. But we want to thank you guys for watching, and join us again on our next one.
Absolutely.
Next week?
Yeah.
Next month?
Next week.
Week.
We'll do 1 week.
All right. Join us next week.
And so, like I say, it's...
leading into Christmas.
If there's a place below to put all this stuff, do it. And if we didn't get it built on time, you can send it off to www.wishyouddead.com, or better yet, wishyouddead2020@gmail.com. www.wishyouddead.com.